undercover cameras rolling, this is what was offered to me and photojournalist Michael Walter within 10 minutes of walking into a club.
We go upstairs and I close the curtain, and it's whatever you want or he wants or both of you.
The price, $125. We'll spare you the details of what she said next. And that wasn't the only place it happened.
Come on in, guys. Boss, you're right.
230 minutes, 345 minutes, or 400 hours. Don't tell. I won't tell. You won't tell.
Would it surprise you that our lawmakers know this is happening? Horry County Councilman Bob Grabowski says a lot of people know it's going on.
Sure. I mean, it's probably, it's the thing that goes along with that industry is the prostitution. And we legislate against it. There are laws against it. But they still find ways around it.
I've seen just about everything.
This dancer, who asked us not to show her face, says that and then some happens all the time.
Things that I couldn't even mention on TV. I've seen just about everything.
She contacted us after we aired the first part of our series, which explained why these clubs are allowed to be in such a popular part of Horry County, like this stretch of Highway 501.
According to law, they're, the places where the girls are dancing around are the same as, some of the nightclubs that are at the top of some of the best hotels in town.
What Councilman Grabowski is talking about is a zoning ordinance. If the dancers inside aren't completely topless, these clubs can register as regular nightclubs. The dancers can even get away with wearing opaque pasties. Our dancer thought we should know that some girls aren't following the rules, and nothing's being done about it. We saw that for ourselves.
There used to be slap $10,000 fines when something was done wrong, or girls weren't wearing pasties, they would get a $10,000 fine. 5 years, how come this isn't happening anymore now?
Here's one reason Horry County spokesperson Lisa Borsier gave us.
Back in 2004, there was a big effort to go into these night establishments. Again, we had our zoning administrator that went in with support of the police department that went in and did write a lot of zoning violations concerning this ordinance. And then by the time it went to court, which is kind of a costly battle that we had, most of the information or the cases were dismissed.
Borsier says right now the county has 2 full-time zoning inspectors and admits since 2004, inspectors haven't gone into these types of clubs on a regular basis.
Horry County has over 3,000 ordinances on our books. And again, with staffing issues and levels, most of our work is based on priorities.
She says right now making sure dancers wear pasties isn't one of them.
We have tried numerous ways to try to get a hold of adult entertainment in Horry County, and it is tough and it is expensive. They do come with a lot of financial backing and lobbying when we do bring these issues up in court.
They just keep it quiet. They try to identify undercover officers that come in, and I know that if they, if a man comes in that they even remotely think is an undercover officer, they won't offer anything.
If you're wondering if there's anything else that can be done by the people that make the laws,
short of citing them over and over and over again for their, for breaking the ordinances and the laws, no, I don't think so. And the citation to them, it shows that it would show that we're making an effort at it, but to them, I think it's just a nuisance.
I think they've become frustrated because of what happens when they bring to trial these issues.
This is Ted Potts. He heads up the Horry Georgetown Prayer Task Force.
I've never lived in a place that had this much strip club activity.
And he doesn't like it, and neither do all of these people. He's collected close to 1,000 signatures from people who want stricter laws for strip clubs, or at least the ones we have, enforced.
It's a growing area. We don't want it to grow in this direction.
So what are his options if strip clubs are able to take advantage of the current system?
We have to be really quiet about it, Right. But no, we won't get in trouble. We just be quiet about it. Right. And you go to 1.
We learned the clubs could be shut down.
Clubs can be shut down by the state law of the public nuisance law.
We asked Sergeant Robert Kegler with the Horry County Police Department what calls for a public nuisance. He told us anything from drugs to prostitution.
Hi guys.
He says in the past, officers have been able to help close adult bookstores.
It all depends how many times the police have had to respond out there, what types of calls that we've responded to.
Whether or not one of these clubs could be classified as a public nuisance is ultimately up to a circuit court judge, but it's up to a county official to collect evidence and take that information to a judge. So we wonder if everyone that signed Potts' petition filed a complaint with Horry County Council, would a member send a zoning administrator back into these clubs and try things again?
If it was a priority of staff and council and we were getting numerous complaints and people were going in and saying that women are not doing what they're supposed to, we would take a resource off and probably go in at nighttime and see what we can find out.
So what happens if they collect enough evidence? Would they then take it to a judge?
That would be a decision that would be up to our attorneys to see if that's enough evidence and they have enough of a case to actually win and go before a judge and ask that.
It seems a lot is up to the county. So will they try again to enforce stricter laws with new evidence? And what happens if they do?
I don't know of an option that we can step up to or escalate to combat this.
I'd like to see one person that's been successful at prosecuting this type of activity.
And so would a lot of other people.
We're not going to give up. We're going to keep going until it happens.